Hello YouTube, this is ChardarYuGiOh, and today we are playing some Zoodiac Eldlich. This is my real-life paper deck. I took this to locals last weekend and wanted to record some gameplay. Right, opponent is going first, playing, it's like a 47 card deck. Alright, if this is the Code Talker U-Link deck, I don't think we beat this without a hand trap, but Zeus is a good card, so we'll see how many negates our opponent ends on. Summons Splash Mage and Microcoder. Gets Microcoder back. Gets Code Talker inverted, triggering some Code Talkers, dumps Dotscaper, grabs Signet Conflict, and gonna get back Dotscaper. Dotscaper is a very powerful card. I think this is a little underrated. Gets Transcode Talker. Gets back Splash Mage. Opponent's thinking. This is not a deck I've played against this deck a few times, but I haven't played with it. Uninterrupted, it feels very powerful. It feels similar to some of those like insane combo videos you see shared on Facebook that are fine. Alright, opponent gets Transcode Talker that are very powerful. Sets one in the same column for playing Mech Knights would be very good. So this is one of those decks that feels very powerful if it goes uninterrupted. And of course we didn't open a hand trap, so it might as well have gone uninterrupted. So we know our opponent has the counter trap, and we can't target either of the transcodes because they're protecting each other. Luckily, our main strategy here involves Zeus. We're going to activate Tenki. If our opponent negates this, it's fine because we already have two Zoodiac cards. Alright. Opponent lets it go correctly. Grab Thoroughblade. Normal Thoroughblade. Opponent's not playing around Mech Knights, we won't either. So I think our plan here is opponent's going to Forbidden Chalice on the Thoroughblade. That's very okay. Well, Special Borbo. So I think our plan here is we bait out our opponent's negates. We probably won't get to clear their board this turn, but we can bait out their negates and then Judgment whatever their biggest link is. We'll attack directly with Borbo. Hit our opponent for 17. Go to main phase 2. Summon a Zeus with only 2 materials. We're trying to conserve resources because we know this one won't resolve. Activate Zeus. Yep, opponent has the counter trap. Golden Lord, discard Scarlet, target our opponent's last back row. A point. So they made themselves empty-handed to turn off their appointer. Why would you even set it if you were going to do that? Like, our opponent's cards are good. I don't think it was necessarily incorrect to turn off the appointer, but why would you set it? Alright, summon back Big Golden Lord, set Judgment, effect of Scarlet, get Conquistador, and then these can't be targeted, but Conquistador can still destroy them. So we have a pop, a negate effectively anything, a huge monster. Opponent uses effect of Transcode Talker. Well, we will chain our Conquistador, summon Conquistador, destroy the one that activated. Can't resolve because it no longer points to a zone. And I don't see any ways that our opponent gets out of this. Transcode's going to attack the Conquistador. That's fine. And opponent scoops it up. Alright. Yeah, we were extremely far ahead there. Alright. Most likely going second. Cosmic seems pretty bad. Our opponent had a lot of back row, but nothing that just ended our turn. Keeping Judgments in might be worthwhile. Our opponent search a lot. I don't think so. Ice Dragon's Prison is non-targeting, non-destroying removal. That could be worthwhile. They're a Link deck. So if we do what we did exactly in that game and live a turn, this Judgment becomes very good. I think I want to try it like that. Alright, we have 2 ashes and nothing, so we need ash to be very good. That's effectively what the issue is here. Our opponent was playing a lot of back row, so they might have taken out hand traps and played even more back row. I don't know if that's really what this deck wants to be doing, because they didn't end on many negates. So if you're playing the Code Talker deck, I feel like making your deck as consistent as possible and just playing cards for the U-Link might be better. Well, I don't think we're going to get a better Ash target than Reasoning, so we will throw that out there. Lady Debug. Alright, so our opponent most likely has everything they need here, so this might be over very quickly. Adds Microcoder. Opponent's thinking again. I feel like this is a deck that you would definitely need a lot of practice with. Gets Code Talker inverted, trigger the Microcoder. If we had Nibiru instead of one of these ashes, we would be in much better shape. Gets the counter trap. I think this is the first time I've seen this counter trap be played. Counter traps are, very powerful, obviously. Activates Mining, discards Code Radiator. Grabs backup Secretary. Summons backup Secretary. Summons Transcode Talker. Triggers Code Generator. dumps Cyber's Converter. The problem here is we have nothing to pressure our opponent. So they are going to summon a lot of big monsters here. We can't deal with them. We set 3 back row. And then we need our opponent to continue link summoning for these judgments to do anything. Transcode can just summon stuff back. And then paying ourselves down, if we don't negate one summon but they still have big monsters, like, this hand is pretty bad. Summons Splash Mage. Triggers Microcoder. Summons another Transcode Talker. Gets back Splash Mage. So our opponent's whole strategy just to set up 2 Transcode Talkers. I feel like if you're trying to set up monsters, summons an access code, sure. I don't know why you would summon that turn 1. I guess it gets around the judgment. It does get around the judgment. Well, this is what we have. Activate Eldland. Opponent might honestly just negate this. Yep. Negates that. Banishes Eldland. Opponent has Earth, Water, Earth, Light. So even if we set 3 things, our opponent can destroy all of them. Yeah, we're not going to concede. Our opponent knows we're playing all of these cards. So we're not giving up information here, and who knows? If we live this turn, we might be able to top deck Zoodiac, and then just attack directly and make Zeus. Opponent's going to activate access code. Yep, knew that was coming. Hits Conquistador. Alright. Access code again. Hits Judgment. Should be the last access code activation. Hits Judgment. Turn 1 access code is so bad, like, we're most likely, almost certainly going to lose this game. But in general, don't summon this on turn 1. Opponent attacks over the Ash, so our life points are okay. Sets 1. If it's another one of these counter traps, then we're in trouble. But we've been in trouble this entire game. Set Scarlet, thin our deck. Draw Eldlich that does nothing. So that makes me wish we'd held a card in hand, but I really don't think it mattered. I think setting everything and just trying to protect our life points at this point was the best we can do. We're gonna pass. Opponent's going to access code, blow up Scarlet, that's fine. Goes to battle. Alright, so it looks like we survive another turn. Take 5,300. Sure. End phase, yes, we would like to Scarlet. Get Conquistador. So if we draw a Speller Trap, we can try to send this. If we draw a Zoodiac, we can try to make Zeus. We draw a Zoodiac. Right. Normal Rat. Effective Rat. Dump. Ram. think we're going to lead on Chalk. Summon Chalkanine. Effective Chalkanine. Target Ram. Opponent is out of links. So if this gets stopped, we can just summon Conquistador in defense position, try to survive. Alright, we get back Ram. Now, this floats if our opponent destroys it. So we're still are not and never will be in great shape. But we're increasing our chances of surviving one turn at a time. Summon Trident. Try to use the effect of Trident. Shoot the Code Talker. Opponent did not have the counter trap. Alright, I did not see that one coming. We will not complain though. Hammer Kong's probably our least important. Summon Hammer Kong. Go to battle. Yeah, having this Ram here looks kind of silly now, but I definitely thought our Trident was going to get negated and banished, and then we would just have this get destroyed and then summon one back. Attack. No damage. Go to main phase 2. Summon Tiger. Summon. How many materials do we have? 2. Summon Boar. Summon Zeus. And we're just hoping Zeus is good enough. Pass the turn. So now our opponent needs to play through a Zeus. This Ram probably is just going to get sent. Sending Conquistador is not the worst because it floats. And so our opponent's just passing. Alright, we're not going to do anything with this Conquistador. Gamma was probably the worst card we could have drawn. Even Driver we could have tribute summoned Ram and attacked with. Really want to draw a spell or trap to have the option to use this Golden Lord. Switch Zeus to attack, go to battle, and attack. Alright, puts our opponent to 5,000, which is still pretty high life total. They have some time to draw out of this, and we're not. Zeus keeps them from making a board, but we're definitely not putting a lot of pressure on them, especially if they start setting stuff in defense position. Dark Ruler no more. Alright, so Zeus can't do anything, but our opponent can't kill us. Summon Armored Bitron. Sure. Tributes it. Having an Ash instead of a Gamma here would have been nice. If our opponent comes back from this, after we beat the access code and our hand was so bad, I'm going to be a little frustrated. So, opponent is down an access code. They've used 5 cards in their extra deck. It's one of the only decks I would imagine is probably playing more than one access code. Gets Dot Scaper, sure. So if our opponent outs the Zeus, the Ram, and what the Ram floats into, gets Code Talker, gets Microcoder. Microcoder is another underrated card. Gets Signet Codec. Gets Dotscaper back. Activates the codec. Alright, opponent, we are at your mercy. Gets Talkback Lancer. Sure. So I think if they'd have put this in the extra monster zone, or maybe they didn't have a way to put this in the extra monster zone, gets Code Talker inverted, triggers Cynic Codec. Sure, we can't stop it. Our opponent went first this game also. Why would they, why would they have Dark Ruler no more in their deck? Opponent says Lucky Noob. I don't know what we did that was lucky this game, but sure. Gets Cyber's Converter. Gets Splash Mage. Looks like our opponent is trying to climb into another access code. Summons back Code Generator. Gets Baylinks. I was starting to wonder if they were even playing this. And opponent scoops it up. Cannot get back to access code. All right, that was a very rough hand to play out of. Don't summon access code on turn 1, and then when you do summon access code on turn 1, don't insult your opponent when they beat you when you do it. But GG's.